A $100 dress shirt can cost as little as $6 to make. That insane markup isn't buying you better fabric or better stitching. It's funding marketing budgets, licensing fees, and celebrity campaigns. Today on The Style Auditor, I'm ranking 10 popular men's fashion brands from worst to best. 5 that are basically expensive logos stitched on cheap materials, and 5 where your money actually goes into the garment. We're talking real manufacturing costs, hidden factory truths, and who's ripping you off versus who's playing fair. Let's start the audit. Number 10. Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy Hilfiger sets the perfect example of the brand markup game. A standard dress shirt from them retails for $80 to $100, but the fabric, a lightweight poly-cotton blend that costs just $2 to $4 per meter. Add in labor, trims, and shipping, and the total landed cost is usually between $6 and $8. The rest, licensing fees, massive marketing campaigns, and retail markups. PVH Corporation, the parent company, spends heavily on heritage ads while the actual garment stays mid-tier. You're not buying premium quality, you're buying a big red, white, blue logo on average fabric. Number 9. Armani Exchange. Armani Exchange sits at the bottom of the Armani ladder, yet the prices act like it's luxury. A basic t-shirt or polo sells for $60 to $90. Inside, mid-weight jersey from mass production factories, mostly polyester viscose blends. No Italian craftsmanship here, just the Armani name and heavy global marketing from Capri Holdings. Real manufacturing cost? Around $10 to $12. That's nearly an 8 to 9x markup by the time it hits the store. Verdict? You're paying for the logo, not the garment. Number 8. DKNY. DKNY is a designer name that's been turned into a pure licensing machine. After Donna Karan left, creative control went to licensing groups like G3 Apparel. Shirts are made in China, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Retail price? $85 to $120. Landed cost? Around $12. The gap gets eaten by royalty fees and branding costs. You're buying nostalgia and a recognizable name, not the original quality or design oversight. Number 7. Michael Kors. Michael Kors loves to market accessible luxury, but take their belts, often made from bonded leather. That's basically leather scraps glued together with polyurethane and coated to look real. They sell for $80 to $110. Actual material and production cost? Usually $1 to $3. The big problem? Bonded leather cracks and peels within 2 to 4 years, especially at the buckle. You're paying for the look and the logo until it starts falling apart. Number 6. Calvin Klein. Calvin Klein takes brand markup to another level, and it's in the same corporate family as Tommy Hilfiger. Both are owned by PVH. They often share the same factories in Bangladesh and Vietnam. Yet a Calvin Klein shirt retails for $120 to $180. PVH's gross margins sit around 57 to 59%. The only real difference between a CK shirt and a Tommy? The label inside the collar and a bigger marketing budget. 2 shirts from the same factory, one marked up way higher just to support the premium illusion. This is one of the most blatant examples of intra-company price gaming. Now let's move to the brands that actually respect your money. Number 5. Uniqlo. Uniqlo stands out for one simple reason: transparency. Every product page shows the exact fabric composition. Their Supima cotton tees use certified extra-long staple cotton, and they actually tell you. A quality Supima tee sells for $20 to $30 with a markup of only 3 to 4 times cost. No heavy logo tax, just honest materials and functional design. If more brands operated like this, the industry would be very different. Number 4. Charles Tyrwhitt. Charles Tyrwhitt does dress shirts right. Every shirt lists the precise thread count and 100% cotton poplin details. Their direct-to-consumer model cuts out the middleman markups. Shirts range from $70 to $120 with a realistic 2 to 3x markup that actually reflects materials and labor. No vague premium quality claims, just clear, measurable specs. Number 3. Gustin. Gustin flips the entire model with crowdsourced pre-orders. You pledge, they only produce once the campaign funds. No wasted inventory, no huge ad budgets. Shirts from Japanese selvage fabrics or premium denim sell from $69 to $99. Every campaign discloses the exact mill and fabric source. This is supply chain honesty most big brands can't match. Number 2. Proper Cloth. Proper Cloth redefined custom shirts with real transparency. You input your measurements, they use a fit algorithm for true made-to-measure. Single needle stitching is standard, precise thread counts, and full origin details on every fabric. Prices from $95 to $175 reflect actual labor and materials, not marketing fluff. They even break down the bill of materials so you know exactly what you're paying for. And in first place is Suit Supply. They deliver the level of honesty that should be normal in tailoring. Every blazer or suit clearly states on the product page whether it's half canvas or full canvas construction. Half canvas gives far better drape and longevity than the glued, fused jackets most department stores sell. Prices for solid half-canvas jackets sit between $400 to $700, often less than half what competitors charge for the same construction. Direct-to-consumer model keeps the markup honest at 2 to 3 times landed cost. Here, the price, the build, and the label are finally in alignment. Across all 10 brands, one pattern is crystal clear. Your price rarely reflects the actual quality of the garment. It usually reflects the cost of the brand machine, marketing, licensing, and hype. Real value in men's fashion isn't about status or big logos. It's about transparency, construction, and where your money actually goes. Stop overpaying for marketing. Start auditing what you buy. If you want more deep dives like this, drop a like, subscribe to the Style Auditor, and tell me in the comments which brand surprised you the most. I'm Charlie. See you in the next audit.